other things you do to maintain your relationship with Mel? You guys have such a special connection. You guys are so sweet.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that with 2 kids and businesses?
So we have family morning time, which is spread out with the second baby. We actually are doing it more days of the week now, but it used to be every weekend between about 8:30 to 12:30 or 8 to 12:30. We would have this block where we wouldn't be seeing anybody. It would just be a time for us to be as a family. That would include nap times for the babies, so we get time to connect, just the 2 of us. Like that touch point of having like, okay, we're starting the day together. We're setting the tone together. In that time, basically every morning, we'd ask each other certain questions like, what makes today great? Or how can I support you today? Like these kinds of questions to get a feel for like, okay, how do we set our day up to be the most helpful or the most like awesome it can be? And what's the role that we can play in helping each other to do that?
You are listening to Dedicated Joe, the new dad's guide on the upending and transformational experience of becoming a father. Today I've got my dear friend Scott Wild on the show. He is a really awesome relationship coach, but he is also one of those crazy people that decided to have another baby when he already had a very young toddler. So right now he's got a 18-month-old and a 2-month-old. So he is in the thick of postpartum and gets super real on the sleep deprivation, the partnership dynamics, how to communicate when everybody's exhausted. And, he's not pretending to have it all figured out, but he has done a lot of deep emotional work on his nervous system awareness and, how to really build that safety in relationships. And I got to tell you, him and his wife, Mel, they are just the sweetest, most connected couple I've seen. And yet they have 2 very small children. So we go into it about how to stay connected when the relationship feels stretched, how to give feedback that doesn't just shut the other person down, and how to really let your kids reflect back to you what you're still needing to heal. This one is for any dad who is just trying to stay calm when everything around you feels crazy, for partners who are learning to show up without losing themselves, and how you can do deep emotional healing while raising kids. Let's get into it. Scott, so good to have you on, man.
Dude, great to see you, Joe.
Yeah, we've known each other like a little over 3 years maybe now.
Yeah.
We first met because I was renting a hyperbaric chamber to recover from my knee surgery. And I had put all this money into the rental. I didn't want to buy it, but it didn't make sense to just give it back when we could buy it for a pretty good deal. And so I asked my friend who would want to buy this, and he introduced me. He's like, I think this guy would want it. So ended up working out, and your wife used it quite a bit for her health stuff prior to getting pregnant, and then pregnant and the first baby, and we got to use our products and eventually became an investor in Serenity Kids and just got involved with all kinds of different aspects of our community crossovers with creativity and spirituality and personal growth. And just been so fun to watch your journey as a parent. I remember at Charlie's first birthday, we made him onesies.
Oh yeah.
We got to decorate onesies. That was the coolest like first birthday party thing. It was like, I got to make a onesie for little Charlie. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And now you got another one. We're so glad you were able to make it over here in the middle of postpartum.
Yeah.
2 months in, you said. So definitely in the thick of it. And glad to have you on.
Yeah, super grateful to be on the show. Yeah, that hyperbaric was so useful for us, and it's been a staple for community. And like we have friends over to use it, and just excellent healing machine. And I've really loved getting to know you as well through like the business side and through your family. Like getting to see how you show up as a father for your family has been really inspirational for me. So
well, thanks.
Happy to be on the show.
Yeah, appreciate it. So journey to becoming a dad. What made you want to become a dad? How'd you end up there?
Yeah. So rewind like 3 years ago, what I told Mel when I met her, it's my wife now, was basically, I'm a no for kids unless something in my life changes that. Because for a while, like with past partners, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll have kids, but it didn't actually feel true to say it that way. So I kind of opened with that, and she was like, okay, that's fine. And then kind of fast forward, we actually had, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had an accidental pregnancy as well. And through that process, I was actually faced with the decision of like, okay, on the one hand, I want to create the best possible life for Mel. Like I want to show up for her. I want to open doors and possibilities for her. On the other hand, I've got this belief that being a father, being a dad is going to be somehow annoying, painful. And I was thinking like, that's mostly because the dads I know or I've talked to are like just talking about how horrible it is.
Yeah.
Like how much sleep you lose, like how much like it's just painful. They're like, oh, it's the best thing ever. But then let me give you 15 reasons why not to do it yourself. So I was really sitting with those, and I like what I actually found in myself in that time. We were kind of deciding like what to do. I actually found like, oh, I just haven't seen fatherhood done in an inspiring way. Like I haven't seen someone who's doing it that I just want to be like that. I want to do that. So I took that as a personal challenge to myself to say like, what would like being an awesome father look like to me?
Yeah.
Like not like what I should be in terms of being a father, but as soon as I let that land and let that settle in my body, I found I could have between 0 and 3 kids. It was kind of like the paths I opened up, because I was opening up options to where even after that experience, I could have had no kids. But through that, I said, okay, I can have between 0 and 3. And that's to me when I actually became a dad, like was when I opened up that path for myself and like decided to take on that identity for myself.
And that was that you realized you had the capacity to create a positive fatherhood experience.
Yeah.
You said be a great dad, but you almost explained it wasn't that you were afraid you wouldn't be a good dad. It was more like you were afraid it wouldn't be good for you.
Yeah. I was afraid that I'd either sacrifice the experience of the child or sacrifice my experience. Like I hadn't seen a way to do a win-win.
As well, you said
right.
For Mel that she would have to sacrifice.
Right, exactly. There's going to be some form of pain involved was my previous thought. And so I really started to challenge that. And when I started challenging that assumption, that's when I started just growing energetically. I started just really cleaning up the ways I was wasting energy previously, really dialing into deeper reasons for doing even the small things I was doing. Like I wouldn't do something because I thought I should do it, because I thought those would just pile up as being a father. It's just another role to take on, another person to take care of. And if I think I should or I have to do something, I'm actually going to be fighting myself in doing that and be really energy drained.
So you sort of started kind of detoxing your life.
Yeah.
We had Taro from Force of Nature on. He talked a lot about detoxing prior to pregnancy. They have 3 and they're planning even more, and they have this process, and they
totally
do all this detox prior to getting pregnant. So it's sort of like what you did. You detoxed your life.
Yeah. It was the way that I see it, if like I feel I need to do something, but I don't want to, and part of me doesn't want to do it at all, then for me to do that, I'm actually creating friction within myself. And that's where drain comes from. Because when I'm 100% into doing something, it's effortless.
It's life-giving.
It happens. I call it alignment and kind of the coaching world. And that's where I want to be. So I'm really suspect whenever I can feel I have resistance to something. And I ask myself, do I actually have to do this? Because what's the option where I don't do this? Or what's like the deeper thing behind my reason for not wanting to? Like one example of that is like Charlie's my son. He's the 17-month-old now. He'll sometimes like want to be picked up. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't really want to pick you up right now. Like, just not what I want to do. Like, what I do have is like, I'll go on the ground with you. So I'll just like go to pick him up and just flop down and like still be in the energy of connection and play, but maybe not in the way that I think I should be doing it or something like that.
Yeah, not sacrificing yourself. No, I'm going to hold you for you, but it hurts my body.
Totally. Yeah. Another huge intersection there is being sustainable with my body. Like even in the way I'm holding him, I see this with a number of adults, and I started doing it a bit myself, is shoulders coming in and holding the baby in front of you. You talk to any chiropractor, they're going to say that's like where you get bad backs. That's where pain starts to come in. So what I've realized is I might initially like sacrifice a bit of my posture or something to make a hold work. But then once I'm there, I can actually like care for my body a bit more. I can actually like find a way where I'm still supporting him or her, however I need to. And I'm actually loving my body at the same time. So it feels good and it actually still supports. And what I found is like, I would be afraid that maybe that's going to wake the baby up or something. Maybe the baby fell asleep in my arms. I'd be afraid I'd wake the baby up. But by doing that, they would actually get more arrested because I'm more calm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The irony. Yeah, that's great. I have a video on ergonomic baby holding, specifically what you describe, and what using your arm muscles rather than your shoulder muscles.
Yes.
And like, a lot of men like to lift weights, so don't complain about picking up your baby. You're gonna go to the gym anyway. Just lift her, hold that baby with your arms, but if you let it curl over, that's where it starts to really hurt.
Yeah, and it's funny, like watching Charlie grow now is like, it's like an adaptive weight. Like I'll still pick him up and I'm like, okay, well, he's building me up.
Unfortunately, they do grow faster than you can build muscle. You'd think you would just match it, but no, they grow so damn fast.
Got to max it.
So you still have to go to the gym if you want no pain, but it's still tough, but there's right ways to do it. But that's a good metaphor for like, I can serve the kid, I can meet their needs, but without hurting myself. And actually hurting myself hurts them more. Like it doesn't even meet their need for me to sacrifice. So
on that point, I love the way that a baby's awareness and abilities grows as their physical body grows. So like they can reach more, but they're a little bit wiser actually. So that there seems to be a built-in like adaptive difficulty curve or something as babies grow. That's like perfect because as new parents often don't know what they're doing. I didn't know what I was doing to start, but then the abilities just kind of slowly ramped up as my skill ramped up as a parent.
That's nice. And so you have this realization, 0 to 3, Mel's on board. She always was basically open to babies. I assume that the accidental pregnancy was big for her too.
Yeah,
realizing her desire.
That one we ended up not having. That one went away on its own.
Yeah, and the loss of that usually is.
Yeah.
I realized, I really wanted it.
Yeah, and then we ended up deciding consciously to try around August of that same year. So we waited a little bit of time and decided to get ready. That's when I felt my body really growing. And then we had Charlie pretty shortly after that period. And what I would say as well in terms of the becoming a father piece is that I really believe I became a father before, because when the births happened, people would ask me how do you feel different after the birth? And my answer is actually no. Like I actually felt pretty consistently the same person, because I felt like, yeah, I'm a father. This is what I do. I'm here for this. And it wasn't an identity shift so much because I had already taken that on. I had that a little bit similarly with marrying Mel, where I had already committed so deeply in that relationship that the marriage was like, okay, whatever, if you want to.
Interesting.
Like I'm already in for, everything, So if you want to get married, that's fine.
My life was very different after the baby. But yeah, identity wise, I've been a dad. I drew pictures of my kids when I was 5. So, Jason and Brittany, my future children, I drew. So I've considered myself a dad. I'm just a dad waiting for. In fact, most of the dating I did was to find a baby mama. That was kind of. So as soon as String and I were serious, was like I was screening. I've been screening girlfriends for whether they want kids or not for many years.
That is such a different way of dating.
Yes, it is. If you start off the conversation with, "Do you want kids?" Okay, good, we can date.
Yeah. Something I've noticed in some of the relationship coaching work I do is some people date with short-term values, but with they're saying they want a long-term relationship, and there's an incongruence. That's where they're like, why am I not finding the right person who can I can live long relationship with? And that's because they're often there's some shooting themselves in the foot or something, which I had my own versions of that, where I was very much in medium-term relationships where I would kind of reach a stagnancy.
Well, I was lonely. So there were times where I would start dating someone, I really liked them, and then I'd turn out they don't want kids. And now it's okay, I can still date them knowing it's not going anywhere, or I can be alone. And that's a tough choice to make. Most of the time I chose to be alone because I wanted the space available for my right partner. But yeah, it's easy to make short-term decisions there. So
yeah.
So then you get pregnant. How was the pregnancy for you? What was your role? What was it like?
Yeah, the first and second were pretty different. The main differentiators. So first pregnancy, I was showing up doing a lot of different things, foot rubs, we go out to movies. It was very much about how can we make this really, really comfortable for you, and just kind of support the experience of your body getting in some ways really uncomfortable in certain ways. And then So that was kind of the first pregnancy. Second pregnancy, we already had Charlie. So that was already like, there's a lot more to track around that side of it, around kind of the family and the house maintenance and such during the pregnancy. So it was kind of a split responsibility where I couldn't be fully focused on her and fully invested in like the baby growing and like how to get her everything that she needs. We needed to do a bit more of a split on that, like where I would handle a lot of Charlie and a lot of house stuff and still like doing work and caring for us and getting the things that we need as a family. I did feel like a little bit of my own limitation as like there's only so many things that I felt I could get done. So I started to kind of wrestle with that a bit.
Serve her the way you did the first time and take care of the kid plus yourself and your business and all things.
Yeah. And there's like spatial concerns of like, living in a house with like different rooms where different like dogs here, babies here. Then once the second baby was here, then that was another degree of kind of Tetris or like calculation about the space.
How was that for her, having that difference?
She had some familiarity already about what it would kind of feel like. They were different in some health ways, but like she at least kind of knew what the path felt like. So it was actually easier for her to ask for what she needed as well.
She was more aware.
That was a lot easier on both of our sides if she knew like, okay, I need this kind of food ready at all times. Like we'd have like snack foods ready all the time, like at all hours, like, okay, cravings, whatever happens to come up, let's just grab it and have things ready. So we were definitely able to be more prepared, especially on the feeding side, the eating side, on her side.
And with the pregnancy, the first one where you served her a lot, how was that for her to receive? Was that easy for her to be pampered by you?
She's very receptive, which is great. Yeah. Like she's, not only is she like, she's receptive, she will say if like I'm doing something that she wants more of something else. So she'll actually kind of guide and like support me. Like, let's say I'm like giving like a back massage or something. She'll say like, actually, can you like go down or like, can you switch to this? And so like being,
and you like that?
I do. Cause it's like
criticized or
it's like, I want the effort that I put out to be received in the most important way. It's less about me being seen in my giving. Like it doesn't matter that like I'm the one who's like actually doing the giving. Like I want the impact to happen. And so if there's something I can do that's different, this has been a theme of our relationship as well as feedback. So we were on and off for quite some time where she would actually break up with me, get back together, break up and get back together. And then she finally gave me some feedback that I started integrating and like really let land in my system. And then we were golden. Like once we got there.
Will you share what that was?
Yeah, it was a number of things. One was like we go to events, like so she likes to go to events and is very social on that side. And I like the way that I danced. Like I was kind of like antisocial at first, and then like I went into dance world, but I went in from my head. So I was like dancing from like my thoughts, like kind of controlling my body, but with my mind, like letting my mind move my body. And it looked kind of like a robot that's like trying to be a human. And that for her had like a vomitous response. Like she just like could not handle it. Like can't do it. This is like, just can't do it. She would literally like go on the ground and just couldn't handle it. And so she actually shared that with me. She shared about like, okay, there's something about like being at events. And then she like kind of helped me actually triangulate it in myself. Cause like I didn't know what exactly was happening. I don't have eyes outside myself. So once she shared that and started like, she'd say like, hey, you're doing it now. Hey, you're doing it now. And I started to actually see like, okay, that's where that is. And then I introspected. And now I love dancing, and it actually feels so much better because I'm like not overriding my body's impulses and like letting my body move itself.
You were able to take her feedback, let her help you, and now enjoy it even more.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it supported me also in building a framework for even receiving any feedback. Now I really see that I can kind of receive feedback in any format. Like there's like ways to give feedback better than others. I have a lot of thoughts on that. But even like the most sloppy, like angry, let's say, or judgy, whatever it is, like if that's in there, I'll look through it to find the thing that like is actually really useful that I can use and then still adapt to the feedback. But yeah, there is like an art to giving it really well.
I say that I like feedback, and what you describe, I do as well. And I still like can get triggered by feeling criticized, feeling made wrong, especially from my wife, who I put so much energy into serving the house, and and then to be told it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that I think about that is there's a translation of the values of the person who's giving the feedback into my own values. And because they're seeing something, they're caring about something. I may not directly care about that, but I can probably find a path to caring about that. But an important piece here is that I'm not changing for her. Like, she gave me this feedback, but if I were to change for her, that would be a really short-term change. Because over time, I'm just going to be resenting her for adapting for her. And it's kind of like she owes me because I changed. Right. So I try to convert it into my own values, so that it actually lands deeper. So I'm actually just doing it for myself, and she doesn't owe me, or I don't owe her anything after. And it's just oh, thank you for helping me to unlock something else, something new in myself.
What if the value conflicts and there is no way to do it for you? It's just something she wants.
There could be, there's usually another path. And I'll often look at why maybe I'm resistant to doing something. Maybe she wants back rubs 3 times a day, 4, 5 times a day. Who knows? I would look at why am I a no for this? Is it something that I don't think I can do? Is it something I don't value? Mm-hmm. Would it be that, I'd be overindulging, something like this? And I'd actually find my judgment of her feedback is actually me judging myself. So there's some mirror work or something that I can do to triangulate it, because I do believe there's a way to adapt to it and actually make steps toward it.
Kind of like Charlie wants you to pick him up, and instead you roll the floor with him.
Right. Exactly.
There's sort of that equivalent in every request or feedback. Either I want to do it too, or I want to hold you. I'm tired, but it actually would be good if I use my body the right way.
Yes.
Or no, I don't want to, but I can connect another way.
Yeah.
So it's negotiation as opposed to just a yes or a no.
Totally. Yeah. This relates to getting to yes, or you're not negotiating over business, over positions. Mm-hmm. What's the deeper why? What's the deeper thing? Because I might find my own way to do that thing, to meet that deeper reason. I might even find a better way for me or a better way for you. You just asked for 5 back massages, but if you allow me to do it these different ways, I can do that all the time. That's fine,
I guess while we're on the topic of feedback, I think something Serenity and I have learned a lot is to not give feedback in the moment, to try to give it later. Obviously, anything related to how we're treating the kid, not to do in front of the kid, or while you're in the conflict with the kid, not being doesn't seem like that's working, you better try to, let it play out and then talk about it later. Or if it's about a chore, or if it's about a thing, to kind of find a peaceful moment to give the feedback.
Yeah.
Can save so many fights, because if you're trying to fix something and then there's feedback coming in unsolicited, in the moment, it's really hard to receive.
Yeah, this is a space where I am a fan of taking some space. Whether if I'm receiving it, sometimes I just need to say, okay, thank you. I'll think about it, and I'll I'll sit with it. Then I do my process and then come back. If I'm giving it, then I will take some time again to myself to improve it, to have it be the maximum, the best possible gift. So I'm actually supporting the person and getting more of what they want. But it is that time, because often in the moment, especially if I'm feeling activated or there's any kind of charge, for me to give that, it's probably going to come out sideways, or it's going to have some negative impact on Charlie if he hears it, or son, on her. Yeah. It's I'm not supporting the space. Yeah.
And you're probably not going to get it, whatever it is you wanted. Also,
right.
So
right. It's
the relationship and the thing, and now it's you're worse off.
Yeah. This is why I'm not really a fan of processing in relationships. It's becoming more popular to say we'll just work it out and just talk it through but it's kind of you're having your partner, whoever you're talking to, be your coach in real time, and they're also activated and the least capable often to be the coach. Mm-hmm. So it's I would much rather separate, get some time to actually sit with it, find myself in it, and bring it with clarity in a really powerful and clear way that supports and builds our relationship.
And what is processing? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it could be sitting one example is if I see that there's like something wrong, like maybe I think she's doing something in like a wrong way. If I actually bring that into like the conversation and like they say, I think this is wrong, like not only is that going to like often trigger a defense, right? But I'm usually missing something about why she's doing it. I'm usually missing the virtue of what she's doing by just focusing on the downside. And so that can often like lead to like, oh, but I'm doing it for these reasons. So when I say sit with it, I say I'll look at what I see as bad or wrong and find like what's the actual virtue that I'm not seeing of doing this? Like what need is this meeting that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
And once I have the full picture, then I can talk about it. And like that's part of it. Then like what if this thing never changes about her? Like how can I be okay? How can I just, be fine with that? And that's kind of inner work. That's imagining and that's boundary building. It's like, because that's my North Star is like, I don't ever need her to be any different than she is. I don't ever need her to be any different because I've got myself and I know how to handle myself. But I will happily offer her ways to grow in ways that she wants to grow, but it has to be in the direction that she wants.
Yeah, I think I can get a little addicted to processing on stuff. And I think I've started to realize it's almost a way of not feeling the feelings. We had a fight recently that we're working with our coach on. We usually tend to process the fight post a fight with our coach, which is if you're going to process probably better with a coach than with each other. But I've been doing a lot of emotional work, feeling more, and like started really from a place of just how I was feeling and kind of what I was needing generally, what my inner child was going through, and then kind of to the point of what her inner child was going through. And then it was kind of, we were reconnected and we never really talked about the actual thing the fight was about and how that happened and how it could be prevented in the future and what was the specific words, but it was sort of like, oh, it was kind of moot.
Yeah. Sometimes just connecting over the thing or just finding like, even for me, it's like, it's sharing what lessons I've learned from it. Like how will I approach things differently is part of how I think about repair from a situation like that. Because if I know the moment where I would have done something different and I feel I would clearly do the different thing now, that to me is I'm prepared with myself. And so I can bring that into the relationship. And it's often, that's the thing that'll be.
You sort of lead with vulnerability. If there's a disconnect, you can start by saying, hey, I realize I made this mistake. This is how I would have done it differently.
Yeah.
And then even if you have a request for her, at least you showed that you were willing to show your part first.
Yeah. And I still, to the extent I can, I won't ask her to do anything differently because I believe I'm responsible for the way the relationship's going. Like, and so if I know the moments where I would do something different, like I will happily share those if I feel it'd be in service, if it would help her understand me better, something like that. But often I don't even feel I need to address that because I've just adapted.
Yeah, I think the highest level for me would be if I do ask for it, it's as a request. It's like, this is what happened for me. This is where I made a mistake. If next time that this happens, it would help me if you could do this, just so you know. But not any attachment to her doing it. Recognizing it's my responsibility.
Yeah, and there's a deeper thing here to me around trust in the relationship because that's often the thing that's missing. So I can make a request and say like, hey, I would love it if these dishes got put away or something like that. It's actually related to like how much I can trust that we can keep the space like tidy together. And that's the real thing in the connection. It's about the trust. Like the feelings, I felt frustrated when I saw the dishes were out or something like that. It's like, that's for me to work with. It's more that like, I want to like live in a house where like things are in a really good place. And like, I know where to find things, for example. I want to trust that I know where to find things. And I'll be able to do that a lot better if these things continue to go back and just sharing it, that perspective.
Yeah. And so the postpartum, the first time and now the second time, you're in the thick of it now.
Yeah.
How are you showing up there?
Yeah.
Differences between the two?
Yeah. The major differences. So with our first birth, right after the birth, Mel wasn't able to move very well. Like she actually couldn't walk because of some pelvic floor postpartum sort of things. And so I was doing all the diapers. I was supporting with quite a lot just around the logistics of the baby, getting things taken care of. And it's interesting to have a singular focus on one baby. That's like one. Now I'm like, oh, that was so luxurious to have all focus on one baby.
Right.
Because like with the second baby, with Reese, there's a way that it's easier because I've been through it.
Yeah.
So I know kind of what to do. Like we're not like, how do we burp? Or like how much like formula or like how long, like we knew how the breastfeeding works and everything. It's more about the intersection between the two and like handing off and like, okay, like which rooms do they go in and how do we make sure the dog doesn't bark and wake the baby up? These types of things. It's more like the intersection. And at the same time, Charlie, our older one, is reaching new milestones. So he continues to be able to do more, which means a little bit more eyes on, a little bit more engaged in different ways. So it's a combination of those things, but the experience is just so different being like singularly focused on one baby versus kind of managing and holding the two, where I'm so grateful that I got the download on how to like hold a baby well and how to help a baby go to sleep and like how to feed, like all those like logistics. I kind of had a second nature. So if I didn't have that and I was thinking about it, this would be a lot more difficult with the second.
Yeah. And so as a coach, are you able to take time off? You just tell your clients, no sessions for the next month or two, or how long have you?
Yeah. Well, up until I was in full-time work up until about January, actually, this year. So I did get like paternity leave and such from like past work. But yeah, in this second pregnancy, second birth, I'm building the coaching practice and doing a lot more of the actual building of the business in this, which means more time. I understand you had maybe a similar experience with Serenity Kids.
Right.
And so I'm actually putting a set blocks of time into the entrepreneurship, which was also different. So we have recurring nanny time, which has been a lifesaver, like so helpful to have consistent nanny support. Like, and tip for finding a really good nanny, like the best thing I've found so far is mothers who have a number of kids already that are in like the older stages. So our, like the nanny that's working really well for us right now has 6 kids of her own, and the oldest just is like 18 years old or so and just getting out of the house. So they just have a really good touch.
There's like, it's just, they know it all already.
Yeah.
Like it was such a difference. The babies, even the babysitters or nannies that were like even grandparent age, that had just been there, done that. Everything is natural. They're used to it versus like a teenager or a 20 something that hasn't done it. They're like deer in headlights on basic stuff, like what to do when they're crying.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a different level of wisdom. Because like with someone who's been a parent, it's kind of more in the body because you can't hold it all in your mind and try to do it from thinking. So it's just kind of in there, and as a result, you'll be more grounded because you've been through more. So your nervous system is going to be like okay with more things happening, let's say. So you can just bring a base.
Did you get one with Charlie like right away?
Yeah, let's see. Not right away. It was about 3 months in.
Okay.
We had a little bit of night nurse support as well, kind of earlier on. But yeah, about 3 months in is when we started getting some recurring time.
So you had a night nurse. How often did they come?
It was like once a week or so. Like we would try to get nights.
They'd spend the night and take the night feedings and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that was really important to us was to be able to kind of continue our lives and actually live and continue to be us, be the people that we are. And so part of that support was that the night nurse could take care of Charlie, and we could still like go to events and stay out later if we wanted to, and then come back and do that. And that ended up being great. Like even just getting social time to just be with friends and be in community. And
I am surprised at how many people don't realize you can do this. I mean, they might know it hypothetically, but they just don't occur to that. They don't have the permission to do it. But I mean, we left Ella with a babysitter probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, and went out and had some personal time. We started leaving Della really, really early with friends and family, with babysitters. Now she'll go to anybody, like it's no problem. But I'm surprised how many families I meet that it's been a year and a half, and they've never left their kid with somebody.
Totally. And there's really like, whoa, there's really 2 paths. Like there is like nanny support, and that part of that is getting comfortable with having your child cared for by someone else, which I consider to be such a critical skill and like ability is to actually trust someone else to support the baby. That's one way. The other is like up until like at least 7 or 8 months, I'd say, we were able to like wear him at events, or just bring him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he'd sleep in.
Yeah, I
like,
remember you just had him on. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
brought him along.
Like up until they can like walk around and start touching things, pulling things off and breaking things or whatever. Like up until that point, like it's a pretty low maintenance thing to actually bring a child to an event, especially if there are two parents who are going to the event.
Right.
And you can hand off a little bit. But then like the nap times get to be pretty consistent at a certain point. So once those started feeling pretty consistent, we're like, okay, we can like try bringing him. Let's just try to go and like see. Well, if it doesn't work, we'll leave. That's fine.
I loved doing that. Serenity had very little capacity for that. It just felt too hard for her. So what I just took it on. I just said, nope, I'm going to bring all the stuff. I'm going to bring the diaper bag. I'll wear her most of the time. She has attention on her all the time anyway. So it's not like I was going to have her 100% of the time. I knew that she was going to help no matter what, but like, I just kind of took on like, no, I want to share our daughter with the world. I want to have us out together in the world. I don't want the baby to keep us all the time. And so that's, bringing babies, especially babes in arms. They can't crawl. You wear them around.
Totally.
But yeah, getting babysitters and then paid support. Night nannies are game changer. Even once a week is powerful. We had, a couple nights a week, or sometimes every other night for a while there.
Yeah. Don't underestimate like learning things from watching other people hold your baby.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've learned different holds. I've learned different like movements to like soothe the baby. There are just so many like little like skills and things to pick up, just ways that different people will have. So I love just watching other people hold our babies, because it's like an free education course.
Yeah. And then, it's all costs money. So it's just a matter of what you can afford. But I know a lot of people who could afford it, and they just think it's like wrong to leave their kid, or they don't want to bring in a nanny, or they don't want to deal with somebody else's energy. It just or they think, oh, I can work from home while I have a baby. Like biggest myth ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done a little bit of that, but having like scheduled calls for specific times is a little bit tricky.
Almost impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've had like hours where like she's just sleeping on me, for example. I did that pretty recently.
And you can work a little bit, it's here and there, but it's super because working full time, certainly trying to work 40 hours at home with a baby, like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You just have to have a nanny.
You really have to have, or at least very understanding person on the other side if you're taking calls or something. You're like, hey, I just got to do this. So let's resume later or something.
Yeah, exactly. So getting nannies and postpartum doula was really great for us, which was very in the first part. Did you have any support like that?
We had, no, we didn't really go for that route. We had a number of people, like, I guess we got most of that from like nanny support, basically.
Same idea, I guess.
Yeah. Like, just understanding like emotional needs. I was doing a lot on the emotional side and just supporting Mel and like encouraging her and kind of being, as much as I could, the rock and foundation for the family. But yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome. So other things you do to maintain your relationship with Mel, you guys have such a special connection. You guys are so sweet. How do you maintain that with two kids and businesses?
We have family morning time, which is spread out with the second baby. We actually are doing it more days of the week now, but it used to be every weekend between about 8:30 to 12:30, or 8 to 12:30. We would have this block where we wouldn't be seeing anybody. It would just be time for us to be as a family. That would include nap times for the babies, so we'd get time to connect, just the two of us. But like that touch point of having like, okay, we're starting the day together, we're setting the tone together. In that time, basically every morning we'd ask each other certain questions like, what makes today great? Or how can I support you today? Like these kinds of questions to get a feel for like, okay, how do we set our day up to be the most helpful or the most like awesome it can be, and what's the role that we can play in helping each other to do that. So those are some of the
time block is nice, because with a nap you can hang out and have one-on-one, but you just never know exactly when the nap's going to be or how long it's going to be, a general time frame. But it's very hard to be like, we're going to have our date when they're napping, and like I'm going to have calls right before and after. It's like, so you have to block this longer. So it's kind of a cool way to do it. And then you're all together.
Yeah.
And then you're automatically available.
Yeah, exactly. And we're adaptable. Like the intention is for us to connect and just kind of be together.
And that's in addition to date night. So you have a time like sort of outside the house, either one-on-one or potentially with the baby, but not with the toddler.
Yep.
And the mornings.
Yep. Yep. And then we'll also go to events together, as I mentioned. So that's a time where like we'll often get nanny support, and then we'll maybe take a baby with us depending on the timing.
That doesn't count as date night if you do that?
Different. No,
So
date
date
night's
just
us.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
So if you go to an event, that doesn't count.
Nope.
That's
different.
incremental.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because that's more community. Like the chances that we're like locked in and just talking to each other is a lot lower. Like a little bit.
Right.
But mostly we want to be like exploring and really enjoying the event ourselves, however that looks. Often together, but could be anyway. So creating that that space for us to still enjoy and still meet people and talk to people has been really, really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool that you kind of both organize that. I found that it's something I really need to hold. But it's something as a man I can hold.
Mm-hmm.
And that she will show up for if I book the babysitter and I make sure that she's available and I figure out where we're going to go and all that. Sometimes I get a little annoyed that I have to do all that. But I also recognize the benefit to me is so great from our relationship, and she gives to me in so many other non-practical ways that it's like, if I can, this is something I can do and I will benefit from. Why would I want to complain about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We kind of co-hold it. Like sometimes I'll plan the date, sometimes she'll plan the date. We are actually, sometimes we'll kind of co-create it together. We'll choose a restaurant together and go out. The most important thing is that we're spending time and that we're bringing good energy to each other. Like that's kind of the most important piece, and that we're able to talk about real things with each other, whatever that might be. Mm-hmm. So the venue to me is less important. Sometimes we'll still go to like a new restaurant, or like sometimes we'll even just, when the weather's really nice, we'll go outside and like take a walk somewhere, or go out and enjoy the Riverwalk or something like that. Yeah. I said Riverwalk.
We try to do date night. It's not quite weekly. If we find if we try to do it weekly, it's at least 3 times a month. Maybe we miss a week here and there. We do tend to count it if we go to an event or something. So it's sort of like, oh, we're out of the house, so we're together, might count as date night. But we also do quarterly 3-day getaways.
Nice. Yes.
So my mom comes and stays with Della at least once a quarter, and then we have a 3-day long marathon kind of retreat.
Yes.
Where we're just connecting and we're maybe visioning or talking about our lives or having lots of intimate time and enjoying each other in that way.
Yeah, super critical. We do retreats as well. We're looking at different shapes with different ages. It looks a little bit different because bringing in the newborn is like, it feels like half as impactful. Yeah, it's like it is still fantastic to have all the family together and get to just kind of be in a love space with each other. But yeah, that like around quarterly has been what we've done as well. Just time that we're dedicated to looking at our lives, looking at what we're building together, and making any adjustments that we can. Both helping each other's businesses and just getting a sense of what the next unlock or the next most important thing is.
Is there any formality to how you're building your lives, like values or mission statement or things like that?
We haven't gone as much in that route. I think we seem to be kind of on the same page about like building a life that we're alive around, that we like really love we love our lives. So I think that like she would agree that's like the top value. It's like we love what we're building. Like we're doing good things. We're doing things that we love.
That's the first question. Do we love our lives today?
Yeah. Yes. Like, can we love our lives anymore?
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's the thing to change.
That's
nice. But yeah, like in terms of mission statement, we don't have. I think we're just being as much together.
Life we love. It's pretty simple.
There's a way that like we happen to have met in this planet, in this life, and there's something that's like precious and really just amazing about that. So we're just like, how can we enjoy each other's presence the most possible?
Great. And your relationship with Charlie.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. He's like constantly available for like I say, it's like intimacy.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just like
unlimited
play machines, or just like whatever you're doing, I'm down for it. We're here together. Let's make up a weird noise and like. And like before I had kids, I would think like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't like. How do I learn how to do that? That sounds annoying or something. Now I'm like, oh, I just feel like doing this thing. I feel like singing this song. I feel like humming this tune. I feel like, oh, if I just like look away from you and then look back, and he just loves it. He just cracks up. So it really is a felt sense of connection. There's a way that like I didn't really, really, really understand what connection was until like getting experience with Charlie, because like it's like so obvious. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He doesn't pretend. He's like, he's either connected to you or he's not. Like he's doing something else and I'm distracting him from it, or like we're actually connected and having fun together. And that's been so like, yeah, so helpful for me just to understand that and to feel that through him. And yeah, we're building trust together. Like he's just growing in skills. One of the ways I like to relate in terms of parenting and fatherhood is I'm relating to empower him. It's one of the fundamental things that I'm doing. So I'm actually supporting him and doing more of what he wants to do. And that if there's something he wants to do, and maybe I don't want him to do it, if I can let him do it, I will. Like that's the best.
Find a way for him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or like, even if it like breaks something or he spills something or whatever, I'd much rather he learns that lesson than like just to avoid something.
Yeah.
Like that's like teaching a kid what to avoid is like, it's like you're just creating big fear buckets. Like, don't go in this bad spot. Don't go in this bad spot over here. It's like, okay, well, if you do that, and then like, I'll really get close with him and show him like, okay, this is what hot is. And so I'll like give him a small experience of what hot is so he can understand. And now he gets what hot is. Similarly, if let's say he wants to get down from somewhere that's really high, he would previously like look up to me and be like, let me down, like help, help, help. And I realized like if I help him, if I actually just like lift him down and put him on the ground, he's never going to learn himself. He's going to learn that I get down by going help, help, help. So I'll actually like move his arms and put his arms in a way that he can actually get his body down. Like if I were in his body, what would I do to get down?
Right.
And I show him that.
That's great.
And now he's got it. He'll be in like it'll be like a high chair or something like that.
Right.
And he just like scoots his way down. Like he turns.
Talk till it through it out. Put your foot right here. Here's where you put your foot. I'm right. I'd spot her.
Yeah.
Something you're not going to fall. I'm right here, but put your foot there. Okay. Now put your foot there. Like I talk her through it rather than pick her up.
Yeah. I try to avoid talking actually around stuff like this.
Touch his foot.
Yeah. Because I find like he's learning what his body can do. And so if I actually give him words, and he's like thinking about what the words mean as well as what his body is doing. So I want it to be as clear a transmission. That's why like if I'm teaching him words, like I'm only teaching the word. I'm not like bringing concepts in if I can help it, trying to keep it like this is the fundamental piece. It's just, this is how your body moves.
Did you invent that? That was just your intuiting. That's just your style.
Yeah. I have a unique relationship with language where I actually consider it to be like a second language to me. It's like movement, spatial things. That's primitive to me. Like that's what I really get.
That's your primary language.
Yeah. Yeah. And like language is like, I have to put it through filters and things because like it's not as reliable oftentimes as the physical world. Like if I hear something that like, let's say I'm in like a deep, like relaxed state and there are words coming through, I'll actually be more online because I'm like kind of filtering the words as well. So I really take that to heart. So I'm mindful of the words that I use with Charlie and with my kids because I really want them to trust the words that I say. There's like subtle distinctions and things I can go into, but like I at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm explaining things in a way that will scale and will grow with them.
Yeah, that's cool. And so other ways you build that relationship with him?
Yeah, well, having just consistent time to walk off together, go have fun together. Like, I like even if I'm doing like something as trivial as like changing a diaper, I try to like consistently connect with him in some way. Like that, like learning that multitasking skill of like I'm putting a diaper on, but I'm actually fully present with him.
Getting through it to rush to go to the next thing.
Yeah, I'll even like sometimes pause and just like hang out with him because like that's really like, maybe he seems to be occupied with something. Like I'd rather join him in that and like the diaper will get done eventually. Like I'm off.
Is that hard to do?
It took some practice, like doing, it's like a muscle memory. Like once I get used to it, it's like if I have an agenda to get through something, it's like more of a disservice to him. Like, let's say we're reading a book and like, I want it to go page by page. Like that's often not in service of how his mind's actually is like wants to take in the book. You might want to go through and say like this, and then goes back. Let me go back to this page. Okay, I'm done with it now. And if I want to keep going through it, I'm actually fighting his flow. to do that. So I am so flexible in terms of where he wants to go and what he wants to do that I'm just like, I'm with his flow. I'm mindful of any agenda that I have and want to know that it's actually serving something.
Yeah, Della's only child, so she wants to play with me a lot. Like she wants, and I'm the fun one, so she's always wanted to play with me. And like, there's a way that I play with her for her sake, and I get through it, or I am, and she gets some amount of service from that. Like she would rather me do that than not. And I think what I'm finding recently more is, I bet she might get it from it, but I don't enjoy it. Like there's a way I could play with her or be with her, like you described, in a way that's good for me. Whether it's good for her or not, probably not as good as it would be if I'm fully there. But like, it's definitely not good for me. I can tell that. Like the tension in my body, the rushedness, the future thinking, I'm not present, I'm not enjoying this. And then if there's any disruption, now a feeling or another desire, now that's a burden. And at worst, I'm now irritated or yelling at her, and it's the opposite of connection. At best, I am tolerating it and intense versus what the opportunity is to be all the way there, to just stop what I'm doing, savor this time.
Yeah.
Very short time.
Yeah. It feels like such a fun challenge to me to like, let's say there's something really trivial or really simple that like baby wants to do. It's like, there's a way for me to be like so fully with that and look at like the experience I'm creating for him. There's a way that I can sense like, oh, what is he paying attention to? And how can I make this more interesting for him also? Like, how can I make it so it's just challenging enough? There's kind of a difficulty curve that I'm managing when it comes to that. So that's a way that I've taken on the fun of playing myself and kind of making my own game. It might be more of an internal game myself, while still being fully and creating something with him.
Yeah, cool. Do you feel like that? You said you wanted to talk about your unique approach to relating with him. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Well, there's a few things. One is something I've noticed. Like people talk a lot about attachment, and attachment theory is something that came out of often the mother and child relationship. And it's talked about in a pretty complex way. Like there's a lot to it, but the way that I actually distill it down is that I believe a really secure relationship, you're actually good without the relationship. Like that's the most secure, is that you don't actually need the relationship in any way, but you're opting into it. So I think what actually causes, let's say, attachment issues, let's say a kid, cries when a parent leaves the room, or just really doesn't trust the parent, so it kind of keeps a distance. What's actually happening there is that the parent like feels that they need the kid. So there's kind of a subtle place that they're coming from in themselves that's like, I need them to need me. And that's actually something that creates some insecurity. Right. So if I don't trust that my kid will be okay by themselves, let's say with another nanny or on some other care, if I don't trust that, then of course they're going to be anxious if the relationship is distanced or anything like that. And to me, the way to have a really secure relationship is that I'm all in, I'm all here, and I'm ready to support, like say Charlie in any way I can. And I know that he's okay without me. I know that if I passed away, he'd be fine. Like there would be a good path for him available. And that's the fundamental piece about how I can show up as a good father, is that I'm setting him up to be fully sovereign in himself. I'm actually creating his sovereignty.
Yeah, I have that faith in Della too, not needing me, wanting me, not needing me. I'm not sure I don't need her though.
Yeah.
When you were talking, that's what I thought you were saying. And I was
like,
oh.
It goes both ways.
It
goes both ways. Because what I found is parents who have that, like, I want to be needed, they'll even like subtly do things that like, let's say like, I need a hug from my child. It's like, they're not actually interested in the hug. And now I'm creating an experience that they don't want with me, but it's because I kind of need it. Right. So there's a way to be like, where I'm actually looking to support. And the real loving way to be in that situation is to support their experience. It's supporting whatever is most in service to them. And it may or may not be an actual hug, let's say.
Yeah. But yeah, her like she wants to play with me, and I sort of complain about how much attention she wants from me. But then if she like stopped doing that, I'd probably be sad about it too.
Totally.
So there's definitely probably work I have to do on like how much am I getting my need for connection and intimacy, and am I putting it all on her?
Yeah.
And sometimes get disconnected from my wife, but like always have it from Della. And so like actually I should probably be pursuing even more of it from my wife and beyond friends, community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And supporting Della, giving it to her the right amount. It's a constant balance. My parents were very codependent.
Yeah.
My mom especially, very, very, very codependent. And, and so there was like that thing, they stayed together way longer than they should have. And they did it to teach us that you stay together and all this stuff, which, we learned all right, but like I didn't learn, so like that's something I probably have a little bit of that codependency with her. I've definitely worked on it with my relationships with Serenity, with other women. But with her, it's a different level of intimacy and need. And
yeah. And I find that if the intimacy is optional, it will land so much better. Like I might go in for a hug with Charlie and I see that he kind of closes off a little bit. I'm not going to offer it because when it is reciprocated, it feels so much better that way.
Yeah.
And like, I see this with like the way that different parents or different adults will touch kids. Like sometimes it's to support the kid. Like maybe they're like pedaling the feet and like helping with gas, or like maybe like, like they're like kind of supporting, creating like a comfort around the head or something. But very often it's because the parent or the adult just really wants to touch the kid in some way. They just want to like play. They like, I just want to squeeze the feet, or just want to like, touch the cheeks, like something like that. And in that situation, it's like it's the kid who's holding space for the parent. It's like they're supporting the experience of the parent, which is a little bit backwards to me.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's a fine line. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything you want to do differently with Reese that compared to Charlie?
I think one thing is stepping into opening her up to more challenge and more opportunity to just explore more often. We did some of that and like kind of grew that a bit with Charlie, but I think I'm going to be really supportive of her just like walking around, just like trying things, crawling around wherever she wants to go. Also, on the flip side, like introducing more things that I think she'll find interesting. Like there's that, like I want her to be comfortable with both, like exploring on her own and doing her own, adventuring, as well as like I want to show up and contribute. I want to show her things that she wouldn't otherwise be able to see, or make connections that she won't be able to see. So I'll do more of those things. Like really small thing that I'm doing with Charlie right now is like we've given blueberries and I've started to organize them by size. So we can kind of get a feel for like, okay, this is like how different things can be structured. So like here's big blueberries, little blueberry, and there's like a little line. So even if he never like really like gets what I'm referring to, I just want to introduce him to more, like there's more ways to think about life. So I like looking for more opportunities with her is one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. You said you haven't studied many other people's resources, but is there anything you recommend, books or podcasts or?
Yeah. I mean, one of the top things is nervous system regulation. That to me is one of the most important things to really get when it comes to babies. Like I believe we have a lot of wisdom in our bodies about how to be with other humans already. But if we're getting activated and a lot of emotions coming up, that really cuts off our access to that wisdom. So the thing to try, and there's a number of ways to approach nervous system deepening. But for me, like I like sitting with a crying baby is actually one of the things, and like resigning to like what if I can't do anything about it, and like kind of sitting with that sort of thing, and just letting my body be like, okay, I guess I could be okay if there was literally nothing I could do about this. Like if this baby's crying and there's nothing, like maybe I've tried 1,000 things, who knows, but I've reached a limit. I'm just going to be here with this baby fully crying, doing nothing maybe. And can my body
be okay?
Yeah.
Is the game.
Can my body be stable
when it's not?
Yeah. Cause from that place, I can actually make the best decision. I'll actually be more creative. There's a lot of studies about this, about being in kind of a parasympathetic or relaxed state. You're going to see more options. You're going to see more things that you can do. And so if I can be in that calm, relaxed state while a baby's crying, screaming, who knows, distressed, if I can be there, I'll much more likely have the thing to do. And the baby will actually respond to
Yeah,
that as
ironically,
well.
if you're freaked out that they're crying, they're going to cry more.
They cry more.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have an older toddler, you'll see how this goes too with the tantrums and the huge feelings and that's like the most important thing you can do is not also get agitated.
Yes.
It's like there's a lot of words you can say and a lot of tips and tricks and there's some cool tools, but none of them work if you're agitated. You can say all the right things, but if you go on the ride, then they will go on. It will make it last longer. And so that is interesting. I hadn't thought of it as basically it's a constant practice and, there's this super agitated, intense thing often directed right at me because I'm the one setting the boundary or whatever. It's my fault in their mind. And yet my job is to let them have their feelings, but not have them with them, allow them to have their feelings, be empathetic and supportive and loving, but not also get upset.
Totally.
And that's a fine art form. So you're saying you can practice that with a baby. Are there tools beyond outside the baby, like books or therapies or?
Yeah. I mean, one top of mind, breath work is really great for this kind of thing, like being with your own activation and like seeing that it's okay. That's one route.
Kind of breath work where you basically rev up the system on
purpose. Yeah. Like doing bigger breath holds, especially like doing like big breaths, like the Wim Hof kind of approach, and then holding at the bottom. I found to be really helpful. I have found like past psychedelic experiences have been really supportive for the deepening of my nervous system. One of those in particular is 5-MeO-DMT is really, really good for that type of approach.
Never even heard of that. What is it?
5-MeO-DMT, also known as Bufo. It's a chemical that brings up a lot of emotions in the body to be worked, often associated with ego death. But it brings up a lot of emotion. And if you can titrate it, move it through, your nervous system kind of gets deeper and deeper because you can be with more and more emotion. And fewer things are going to actually be scary. So it is.
You do that with a therapist or like in a guided session, sort of like the MDMA therapies or the guided psilocybin journeys that are going on now?
Yep. Like exactly. That. Yeah, it's under research in the States. There's a study that I'm supporting with that's for prolonged grief for surviving family members. So that's one avenue. But yes, it is also accessible outside the country. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I find the cold plunge.
Yes,
is another way of kind of overwhelming the system in a way that I get, is intentional.
Yeah.
And so just the psychological process of like, I'm overwhelmed and I'm okay. And it's a good thing that I'm overwhelmed and I'm doing it on purpose. And, then the actual nervous system regulation of the hormones and stuff of doing the cold plunge.
Yeah. It being a choiceful thing is such an important piece of it. Because like when people talk about trauma, like it's like the reason that it takes a while to integrate and you often have to revisit and move things around to actually like make a better experience of it is that it feels like it's being done to us. Right. And
powerlessness.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're opting into an experience, it's much easier to say like, okay, this is going to be the coldest thing I've ever been in. And I'm going to do it for this amount of time. I can find a certain amount of power in doing it that way. But if it's being done to me, or if I'm in the belief system that it's being done to me, then it's like, oh no, I'm afraid of it. I actually tighten down. So that's why one of the tools for revisiting and remapping some of those experiences is to go back to the experience and find a way to create from the experience beforehand, like kind of create wisdom, like what would you do differently or how would you approach this differently to get past the experience. And that'll help you kind of re-regulate the nervous system.
It's like that resistance you described that you did before becoming a father, like I'm in flow or not, am I fighting it or am I with it? Yes. So choosing to be with it with something like a cold plunge or with a baby. And then when we truly are powerless over it, someone is yelling at us, we did get fired, we do get in a car accident, whatever it is, we can sort of have that same choice to flow with the feelings.
Totally.
rather than fight them.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed, especially the last several years. It's like I have access to more of that creativity, more of that flow, even in something extreme might be happening. I'm still fully present, fully here. Like, our second birth was a home birth, and I was right behind Mel, like holding her. And my breath these days is like pretty stable. Like, when I'm activated, like I might breathe a lot, but these days, like my breath's been pretty level. And during that birth, I wasn't breathing hard. I was just chilling. I was just fully regulated nervous system. And that's what Mel was leaning back into. I attribute that fully to this type of work, like just being like, I'm okay with whatever's happening.
Yeah. And I think could be easy to confuse that with numb.
Totally.
Like I'm not feeling anything.
Totally.
I thought that was my job, was to be regulated by numbing out.
Yeah.
Escaping.
I connect that through like heart openness is the way that I think about it, is like, am I engaged with and kind of like alive with the things that are happening? Like, because that's where I'm actually like still engaging. I'm not like disconnecting. Like I'm fully there, fully present to the situation, and get like I can still create with and look for ways to love things more, look for ways to support whatever it might be.
I'll know by how tense my body is. Like if I'm
tension's a great
tense, if I'm surviving it and I'm not freaked out, I'm stable, but I'm like rock, ice, you know?
Yes.
It's exhausting, and, I'm not adding dysregulation to the situation, but I'm inside still very dysregulated. Versus like I am calm and I'm loose.
Yeah.
But like maybe I'm calm and loose and I'm agitated or I'm upset or I feel the feelings. That's been working on that a lot.
Tension is such a good, like if someone's at home looking for a way to explore this kind of stuff, like look for the tension in your body. Yeah. What I actually recommend is, rather than like, oh, I don't want that there, I don't want that there, like look for it and actually tighten a little bit more around it. And that's to make it conscious, right? Because your body's like actually protecting itself when there's tension. It's like hunkering down or cover. Like I used to flex my abs like all the time. And part of that was like, I actually want to be, I don't want to be seen as, having a big gut or something like that. So it was coming from a fear that I like wanted to have a really like strong 6-pack abs. And like once I started doing gut work and releasing that, it's like so much like nicer there and easier to make decisions. And as a bonus, like it still like looks the way, like a way that I feel comfortable with. Yeah. So like look for that tension, like tighten it a little bit more and then relax it, and then tighten it and then relax it, and really get a sense of like, it's like you're joining the tension versus like trying to melt it.
And I've not met a somatic therapist that didn't help with this. There's whatever form of somatic, there's a variety of fields, but the word somatic is in there. It's like you're basically working with the nervous system and the body, feeling the physical sensations of emotion or trauma or whatever, and learning to just be with that. So that's like a good modality I found for nervous system regulation as well. Yeah.
Like the way that I think about this stuff is like, you want to touch the emotion and give it a place to move. There's different like primal expression kinds of stuff, like practices. Like one of the practices I like is like an anger practice, where like I'll kind of get into like a braced position and just like get in the practice of feeling the energy of anger, like without content, just like, can I be in that space and let it through me, and like kind of let it, like without breaking something in my environment, like, because that's what would happen if it came out accidentally. Right. I want it to come out in an intentional way. So it's like building that pathway, so I know what it feels like. I know what that emotion coming through feels like. Same with sadness. I can really like touch a sadness and just kind of let it through, and that's going to deepen me. That's going to like help me feel more centered around whatever the thing is.
Yeah. And then the kids being the best tool for this little walking nervous system challengers.
They're so attuned.
Yeah.
They're
so attuned. Calming when they're happy and the infectiousness of their joy, and then so intense when they're upset and, trying to wreak havoc. All they want is us to be stable for them. They don't want us to go on the ride.
Yeah.
And like, but it's very easy because you care about them. You want them to be happy, and then they're not. And it's super hard.
Man, one last tip on like not wanting to go on the ride. So something I've found with bigger emotions is actually it's like they're looking to like have a like be met actually in what's happening. So something I found is that if I can match the emotion back without like being like a mocking way or trying to stop it, just like it's like they're singing in their emotion, and I just want to like harmonize and just like match the emotion with them. What I found is that by doing this, it actually neutralizes the emotion. Like where they're just like, oh, just chilling, just like, oh, what are we doing now? Like they could be like crying, they could be like angry, and like if I can like be with them, like fully with them, if it's something obvious that I can feel that they're angry about, and like be like, yeah, like it sucks that we can't go behind this door, and I cry with him. That actually like oftentimes will set like level the feeling.
But it's on purpose. It's
On purpose.
not.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not on the ride. It's
Totally.
you're deciding to
Totally
touch that part of yourself to be fully with them, so that it is all the way expressed.
Yeah, yeah. And by doing that, it's like as soon as he stops, I stop, and I'm just in it with him. If he cries again, I'm here crying with him. Like it's just like we're creating together through this emotion. And that's kind of what I want to teach him, is that like emotions are to be like created with. Like you can like actually, it's good to feel them and like let them through, and that's fully safe. And like I'll model that for you. I think a lot of dads, like in particular, wouldn't want to be showing emotion. Like I think that's a common belief system that a lot of like men in particular grew up with. Like I definitely had versions of that, of like, don't show your emotions to anybody. And I've like come to find like, oh, it's more important that I let them out somewhere. It doesn't have to be in front of the person that's, I think it's caused by or something like that. It's like that I can actually.
Which is not the same as nervous system dysregulation.
Right.
To feel a feeling isn't, I'm now dysregulated. You can cry with him and still be calm. Like it's that resistance, right? I'm feeling it without fighting it. I'm not tense around it.
Yes.
But it's not numb either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like what you described. Like when my daughter's upset about something, I can feel her pain and like be with her in it. Totally. Even if it's a boundary I've set that I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
I can still feel her pain around not being able to have, the third can of poppy soda last night. And like be even sad with her that she can't have it.
Yeah.
And she responds really well to I know what it's like to not get what I want. Like it's really hard. Yeah. It's not what I want. Sometimes she'll ask me, what do you want? I'll tell her, that I want a new Tesla and I can't have a new Tesla as an example.
I'm sure she can relate.
Yeah. Just that's something I can't have either. And it sucks. It seems to get that. It's the same idea. You're fully present with them. You're not just going through the motions. I hear you're sad. It's okay to be sad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not like, the important thing here is I'm not like trying to control that emotion. Like, I'm not saying you can't be this way. Like I'm actually encouraging to be that way and saying like, if you're this way, I'm going to be this way. I'll join you. Let's play. Mm-hmm. Like, because I also want him to get the lesson that there's another way to reach what he wants. There's going to be another path. Yeah. And I don't want him to to believe that letting a big emotion out is what's going to get something done.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think that's a really harmful lesson, a really difficult thing to learn.
They'll feel unsafe actually.
Yeah.
If they can change the boundary.
Yeah.
Then they're now in charge of their safety, and they really don't want that. Even though in the moment they really want you to give in, they will learn that, at best, they learn that they can cry to manipulate you.
Totally. Yeah.
And then they cry more just to do it. But at worst, they learn they're not safe because they can manipulate you. Who else can manipulate you? And now, I'm in charge, and they don't actually like that. So it's a very hard thing to remember with toddlers. Yeah. That like their big feelings, they need to be expressed. Plus they have big feelings that have nothing to do, their body changing so fast. Mm-hmm. So they have these big feelings that are entirely biological. So the terrible twos, whatever, the three-nager, all this like stuff around tantrums, a lot of that is physical. It's like their body's changing so fast, their nervous system needs this release. Yeah. So if your boundary is the thing that causes the release, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. They needed a release. So if you change the boundary to stop the feeling, now you've done them a disservice. Totally. They're just going to find something else to cry about because they need to cry. Yeah. So let them cry and like hold the boundary. They feel safe. They get their feelings out. Yeah. At best, you hold space and don't go on the ride, or at worst, I guess, At worst, you hold space. At best, you, like you said, you feel it fully with them. You're there. You use it as a practice in regulating your nervous system and have it as a connection point. Feel your own feelings.
Totally.
And your child, its own ability to feel.
Yeah. And a way that I think about kids is like they just want to do stuff. They just have desires and want to do things.
Yeah.
And if my boundary is flexible, let's say I speak something, I believe boundaries are fully internal. So to speak them is just like letting someone know. It's not actually the boundary. But if like I speak something and say, hey, if you do this, I will do this thing.
Right. And
then they do it and you don't do the thing, they're going to learn, oh, that's not the real boundary. And the words you said don't actually mean anything. Mm-hmm. And then that's the lesson is that, oh, the words aren't actually what's important here. Mm-hmm. And so that they will devalue the words that you're saying.
Yep. And your inner child too now doesn't trust you to hold its boundary, and it's a mess.
Yeah. It's broken trust.
And every dad will do this. Many, many times probably. Set a boundary, violate the boundary. You have to learn this the hard way. Like that you will set a boundary, you will break it, and you will see the impact on yourself, on them. It's just one of those learning curves. But yeah, making a habit of it is definitely a problem. Yeah. So things you wish you'd known before becoming a dad?
Man. I'm generally really proud of how I've showed up as a dad. I think one of the things that I would say is being willing to ask for support, like being willing to tell people and help them help. Like we had a number of friends, and especially in our first birth, we had a lot of friends, but they didn't know how to offer the best support that would actually be the most supportive. So we ended up doing a lot of the things ourselves. So we did have like a meal train and a few other things, but we've been a lot more like just like kind of louder, I guess, about like, hey, this is helpful. If cooking for us is really helpful, like just come by and drop off food. Just come by and hang out with Charlie. And just being really transparent about what's important and what someone can do to support me, and getting clear on that. Like I think that makes things so much nicer.
Did you structure that in any way?
We did. We did have a meal train, which was helpful.
Yep.
And we've just started telling people between 3 and 8. Like we had pretty consistent times where it was kind of the 4 of us, and just say like, those are the times, like, please reach out, and like saying it that way versus like, yeah, you can come by if you want to. Like, yeah, please come by. Like
between
these hours,
we're here and we'd love to see you, and this is the time, and we have stuff for you to do. So let us know.
Well, funny enough, I found we have stuff for you to do. Like they're more likely to do it if they're asking like, how can we help?
Yeah, right.
Which they'll often do when we're there.
Yeah,
like when they get there. But like being very clear about what someone can do to help is really important, because there are people.
Yeah, the First 40 Days book has a great strategy for this. I made a spreadsheet prior to the birth, everybody in our lives, and I gave them jobs and time slots and scheduled that first, like, call it 6 weeks of postpartum for people to come by. Here's your time slot to come visit baby. Maybe you get to see the baby, but you for sure get to do this work. Totally. And they usually got to see the baby too. Almost never did they not get to, but the expectation is you're here to serve and help. But a lot of people don't underestimate how hard it is. It's very hard for men to ask for help.
Yeah.
Women it's even harder for them. They're like in the middle of recovery. So us being the one to ask for help, organize the help.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. We had a similar thing. Like we had both of us had our parents visit, but they live on opposite coasts. So mine are in Oregon, hers are in New York, and they would come visit. And I think one lesson that we've learned is like how to help them be like helpful. They want to be helpful. They want to be around. They want to support, and just like being more clear about like the times that we're available to be like with them, and like what things that they can do to support. Because like my folks are like so supportive. Like they'll like do returns for us, or like go get like food and things for us. So like I think it's first knowing what would be supportive, and then being willing to offer that as an option, and not as like I need you to do this for me.
Right. To ask for it, to schedule it, and even sometimes give feedback if that's not exactly what you wanted. Back to the feedback
in a loving way. Yeah, in a loving way.
Back of this, like, we really appreciate this, and like, next time this way, or again,
To me, the really quick nugget I have on that is like appreciate the intention of what they did, and then broaden the awareness to say like, oh, the thing that we love about this action, the thing we love about this food is blank. you know, something that they can hold. That's not just like you did it wrong. It's like, oh, I love that you gave us something.
Yeah.
And like, we're only eating these types of things because we're on this diet or something like that.
Yeah, the compliment sandwich, as it were. And I really appreciate you. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks. I'll let you get back to your new baby. I'm sure you have lots to do. Super appreciate you taking the time out and all the inspiration you have for dads and for your 2 to 3 more children.
We'll see.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on and can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on the show, Joe.
All right, guys, stay dedicated.